Well, vision has emerged of a very close call involving our Australian Air Force. China's national broadcaster, CCTV, released rare footage of what appears to be the PLA Army Air Force harassing an RAAF plane in a tense encounter over the South China Sea. Joining us live now, former DFAT Australia China Council scholar Andrew Phelan. Yeah, close call, all right. It's from a few years back, Andrew. So what's the point of airing it in your view?
Yeah, it's a propaganda piece, Peter. When I was living in Beijing, there was a channel on CCTV that I used to refer to as the Blow Things Up channel. And it was all about military exercises and showing China's capability. At the moment, tensions in the region are high. Last weekend in the US, we saw 60 Minutes there air an episode where a 60 Minutes crew happened to be on the board a Philippine Coast Guard, which was encircled by what I call fake Chinese Coast Guard ships and rammed and damaged. That vessel is now retreated from Sabina Shoal for the time being. But as you can see in this case here, where it's a case of the PLAF throwing chaff at the RAAF, if you like, you can see that the RAAF P-8 Poseidon surveillance plane, this happened over the South China Sea in May 26, 22, shortly after Albanese government was sworn in. You can see him making an evasive move, and that illustrates how dangerous this maneuver can be. And we've seen multiple incidences of these over the years, and they don't always end well. There's an incident going back to 2001, not long after George W. Bush was sworn in, where two Chinese jet fighters scrambled to meet a US reconnaissance aircraft, actually collided with it. Yeah. The Chinese pilot was killed, and the US crew, 24 of them, ended up on the ground, made an emergency landing in Hainan Island, sparking an international incident, and were held and interrogated by the Chinese for 10 days until they were released. So
so just how does this all fit in with the stabilisation narrative that's happening right now, Andrew? Particularly as Jim Chalmers is preparing to go there.
It's a great question. You'll see, Richard Marles and so on say, look, we've got to cooperate where we can, disagree where we must, the go-to template. Yeah. I'm starting to think that the stabilisation narrative, it's time to, kiss it goodnight and put it to bed, to be frank, because, tensions in the region are ramping up so much. And China's language has become more belligerent. The other day at the Shangshan Forum, which is their answer to the Shangri-La dialogue, a general said that he would, quote, crush any foreign encroachment into the South China Sea. And we've had, other Chinese spokesmen bragging about their shipbuilding capacity, saying that, our ambition is not a secret and so on. Chalmers is going up there at a time when some Chinese companies like BYD are their exports are going gangbusters for electric vehicles. But on the other hand, the economy in China has slowed dramatically, demand for iron ore and coal has dropped off. I'm not entirely sure the purpose of his visit, why he couldn't get that intel without going up there. And perhaps more contentiously now is a delegation from both sides of the island parliament going up there next month on a so-called friendship visit. I think that's, the Chinese embassy trying to match Taiwan. We've had a few delegations, as you know, going up there. Yeah. So, I think the stabilisation narrative, it's starting to get a bit frayed at the edges, and particularly when we've had a couple of visits lately, kind of secret visits from representative of the CCP. We've had visitors here with no presses and that sort of thing. We've sort of, agreed to some of those terms. Yeah.
We will watch that closely. Andrew, thank you so much.